Welcome to Season 6 of the Agile Brand, where we discuss marketing technology and customer experience trends, insights, and ideas with enterprise and technology platform leaders. We focus on the people, processes, data, and platforms that make brands successful, scalable, customer-focused, and sustainable. This is what makes an Agile brand. I'm your host, Greg Kihlström, advising Fortune 1000 brands on MarTech, marketing operations, and CX, best-selling author and speaker. The Agile Brand podcast is brought to you by TechSystems, an industry leader in full-stack technology services, talent services, and real-world application. For more information, go to teksystems.com. Before we get started, I wanted to let you know that my latest book, Priority is Action: 7 Principles for Better Strategies, Decisions, and Outcomes, is now available. In it, I give ideas and insights for leaders and teams that need to make meaningful progress on their priorities. After all, our priorities are what we do, not what we say we'd like to do. You can find Priority is Action on Amazon or learn more on my website, gregkihlström.com. Now let's get on to the show. The total number of solutions in the MarTech Lumascape has grown to more than 11,000 in 2023, representing almost 7,000 growth in the space in just 12 years. The result of this growth has created too many data silos, bringing massive challenges in integrating data and cleaning data to use for analytics and AI. Today, we're going to talk about data and platform fragmentation and how there's a risk of this worsening as new AI platforms and data sources are adopted. So what do marketers do to balance the need to try new things while not risking fragmentation? To help me discuss this topic, I'd like to welcome Afif Khoury, CEO of SOCi Inc. Afif, welcome to the show.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, looking forward to talking about this with you. Why don't we get started, though, with you giving a little background on yourself as well as what you're currently doing?
Great. Happy to. Well, as you mentioned, my name is Afif Khoury. I'm the founder and CEO of SOCi Inc. A little background about myself personally. I've worn many hats in my career, from a geneticist to an M&A attorney, a venture capitalist, to now a full-time entrepreneur and operator. All that while having 4 boys and somehow staying married to the same incredible woman who met me when I was purifying DNA in the lab.
Nice.
On a more professional note, as far as what I'm doing now, it is all SOCi. SOCi is one of the largest, if not the largest, enterprise marketing platform in the world that's focused on solving some of the most complex marketing problems in the world. In a nutshell, we're a platform of record for nearly 1,000 of today's leading multi-location brands and enterprises. So think like number 1 retailer in the world, number 1 auto manufacturer, utilities company, insurance company. I try not to say the names anymore. It tends to get me in trouble. But we help them localize their marketing message and communication down to the millions of locations where they're driving revenue across every major marketing channel, from social to search, reviews to ads. SOCi's been an Inc. 5000 fastest growing company for the last 6 years, I believe, in a row. Platform's ranked number 1 by G2 and something like 24 product and service categories. And in the last 6 months, we've really been rolling out parts of what we're calling the first ever co-marketing cloud platform, which is an autonomous marketing platform that's utilizing best-in-class AI for data analytics and generative content to analyze, recommend, and automate high-value tasks for the brands. So that's me in a nutshell. I look forward to digging in.
Great. Well, yeah, and congrats on all your success so far. And yeah, we've got a bunch to talk through today. So let's get started by talking about the importance of data. Probably, many of those out there, if not everyone, knows that data is important, but lots of issues here. Things like fragmentation of data, and where the work gets done, and the platforms used inhibit realization of some of AI's full potential. So can you describe the current challenge with data, or at least some of the current challenges with data? And I'm sure many listening out there are probably going to be able to relate to this.
Yeah, I'm really glad, actually, Greg, we're starting with data and tool fragmentation, and maybe we can separate the two. So let's start with data. Marketers don't often want to talk about the data or the science part of marketing. Most of them got into marketing to talk about the creative and the art part. And I get that. But honestly, if we're going to have an AI conversation, we first have to have a data conversation. Because at its most fundamental core, AI is part data science and part machine learning. but you can't have the data science without the data. It sounds obvious enough, but the first big obstacle that most of our customers have and that we needed to tackle on their behalf is how do we aggregate all of their customer engagement and customer behavior data into a single place, architected to actually be able to be analyzed by AI. If we don't do that, then we continue to just have data and different point solutions, and any AI they deploy on those solutions is going to get a sliver of the data. And just like my children, if I only give them a little bit of information, then that's pretty much how smart they're going to be. So you basically get the kindergartner version of AI if you use these point solution data sets only. So data ends up being like the biggest conversation that has to have first. Now, for the fragmented platform problem, so okay, you get all the data, you deploy the numerous different AIs to analyze it, because ultimately there are different AIs that are good at different things, and you generate what at least we call these signals, or just information of what your customer base really cares about, and you can turn those into recommendations of what actions to take. Now, these recommendations can be about your social posting strategy, how to respond to a review, how to update your services or photos or categories on your Google page to increase traffic, or what ad to deploy. And if you have all that data and all that analysis and you have all those recommendations, then you have to send them back to a different point solution from wherever you did the analysis. Well, that's just nonsense. And you're back to sort of the same inefficiency problem. And this is the rub with the point solution dominated market right now. That strategy is frankly completely at odds with winning in an AI strategy.
Yeah, and so to that point, can you define for those less familiar with that term, point solution dominated market? What exactly do you mean by that, and how does AI and AI offerings affect this?
So, Greg, I know your background is marketing and MarTech, and so I know you've certainly seen the Lumascape of MarTech companies, which is just kind of those pages that have all the thousands of solutions out there.
Yeah, yeah.
What are we up to? Like 11,000 marketing technologies.
Right.
Um, so it goes back to my last comment. If you have fragmented data, then you have defragmented, or more further fragmented workflows, and you've stifled both data science and machine learning. And so ultimately, AI needs the data, it needs the workflows for it to ultimately mimic human behavior and give you time back. It needs to be able to do all that seamlessly, and to think that it can work between different point solutions that don't speak to one another, don't have data structured in the same tables, don't have the same tools, weren't all trained on the brand voice. That solution it's an antiquated path, and there's just a better approach now.
Yeah. And so could you describe what that better approach is? And I know you touched on it a little bit when you're even describing your platform, but what is the approach that brands should be striving for here?
Yeah, I mean, so it's hard for everyone to come out of this point solution era where they have 7 different logins, and for our customers who have thousands of locations in some cases, and who are inviting the local managers to participate in the marketing, those 7 logins in the hands of thousands of people, they're not really getting used. So, consolidation is the key. And so if instead all of that data and analysis and recommendation are in a single system being architected the right way, and then roll up and are sitting on top of an award-winning set of management tools for all of social, reviews, search, all the major channels, then you can actually literally automate the tasks that you're asking all these other folks to do. And not just automate it in a homogeneous tone, but you can actually train the system to be on brand, to be on location voice. It can truly mimic both the brand voice and the local voice to deliver an optimal experience for customers. So to us, this is the thing that we have to solve. As the innovators in the space, we do feel like it's on us to solve these issues for our partners. This is why we built all of that in what we call the co-marketing cloud.